I've already seen some of the conspiracy theories come out, and one of the questions I saw is, who would be stupid enough to put the dead body in the trunk of their own car? And the answer to that is most murderers.
Somebody said, what a great way of framing David. Look at what David's done. He's written a song called Romantic Homicide. He's got this imagery with a bloody shirt, right? He wrote a song about being obsessed with Celeste, right? People saw him with Celeste.
David is one of the most talked about names online right now. His rise as a music star was supposed to be his moment, but instead his name is everywhere because of one of the darkest controversies in the entire industry. A young girl, Celeste, was found dead in the trunk of his car. The internet immediately pointed the finger at him. His music, his imagery, and his relationship with her seemed to make him the obvious suspect. But the deeper this case goes, the stranger it looks. Because what if David is actually innocent? Today we're going through all the new evidence, the timeline, and the theories that are making people second-guess the narrative. Could David really have been framed? Or was this just a tragic accident that spiraled into the end of his career? For those who don't know the background, here's the short version. Celeste, who was shockingly revealed to be only 14, was believed to have been David's girlfriend. They were seen together at parties in LA's music scene, and people around them thought she was much older, even as old as 19. Then, everything changed when her body was discovered in the trunk of David's Tesla. Immediately, people linked this back to his dark songs like Romantic Homicide, his lyrics about obsession, and his bloody imagery in music videos. On the surface, it looked like the case was solved before it even started. But then the timeline started to raise major questions. One of the strongest points for David's defense is the timeline. Celeste's body was found in his Tesla, but that car had been sitting on a street for almost 2 weeks before being impounded. Parking tickets show it was first ticketed on August 26th, then again on September 3rd, and finally towed on the 5th. Here's where it gets tricky. David left for his US tour on August 5th. That means the car was parked with her body inside while he was across the country performing shows. TMZ even reported that the car seemed to have been parked on Dini Drive as early as the 23rd or 24th. If David was on tour, how could he have been the one to put her body there? Some people argue that he had a window. Between his show in Silver Spring on the 23rd and Cleveland on the 26th, there was a 3-day gap. Technically, he could have flown back to LA, handled the crime, parked the car, and then gone back on tour. But here's the problem. Would anyone actually risk everything like that? Leaving a body in your own car parked on the street where you know eventually it will get ticketed and towed? It doesn't make sense. If he really was guilty, wouldn't he have tried to hide the evidence better instead of leaving it in plain sight? This is where the framing theory comes in. Even Harvey Levin, the founder of TMZ, suggested this possibility. He said, "What a great way to frame David." Think about it. His songs talk about homicide, his music videos show bodies in trunks, and he was publicly dating Celeste. Who better to pin this on? If someone wanted to ruin him, putting her body in his Tesla would be the perfect setup.
Okay, I want to open a can of worms here. There is an impound report that shows that the car that had Celeste's body in it, that was parked on Doheny Drive, was first ticketed for being there. It was there since August 26th, when it was first ticketed. And if it was ticketed, it must have been there even before that. It seems like that car was parked on that street for 2 weeks. How is that car sitting there for 2 weeks? Was it sitting there with a body for 2 weeks? David left for tour August 5th. So let me just make an argument to you. If you were David, look at what David's done. He's written a song called Romantic Homicide. He's got this imagery with a bloody shirt, right? He wrote a song about being obsessed with Celeste. People saw him with Celeste. What if, and I don't know, somebody said, what a great way of framing David. What a great way of framing David. You put a body of this girl that he was dating in his car and leave it there to get towed with all that evidence. Young Jackson is nodding yes.
I am nodding yes because this has been my theory for like the past week, and I've had people call me crazy. There is such a short window of time to where he could have killed her, dismembered her body, and left for tour.
He was gone August 5th.
He wasn't in the city.
But here's the thing. Think about if he did it. You're going to leave a body in your car on a street for 2 weeks knowing eventually it's going to get towed and found.
He's the obvious suspect, and the internet would instantly believe it because of his past lyrics and imagery. One of the weirdest details is the parking situation. David didn't leave his car at his house. Instead, it was found streets away, parked in a spot where it kept getting ticketed. Some believe someone else had access to his Tesla key and was moving the car around so it wouldn't immediately draw suspicion. In fact, a Tesla key was even found near his house and handed to police, raising more questions about who else had access. If someone else had the keys, that changes everything. Because it means someone else could have moved the car, placed Celeste's body inside, and left David to take the fall. Another crucial detail: the coroner ruled Celeste's cause of death as undetermined. Despite the body being badly decomposed, investigators didn't find clear stab wounds, strangulation marks, or blunt force trauma. That means there's no physical evidence she was murdered in a violent way. The only thing pending is the toxicology report, which could reveal if she overdosed. And if that's the case, the story changes completely. Some theories suggest Celeste may have overdosed while hanging around David's entourage. Afraid of being blamed, someone could have panicked and hidden her body in his car. That would explain why she ended up there, and why David himself showed no visible panic while on tour. And that's another strange point. While the body was sitting in his Tesla, David was performing across the country as if nothing had happened. He was throwing shirts into the crowd, doing shows night after night. If he knew his girlfriend was dead in his car, wouldn't he have been acting differently? Wouldn't he at least release a statement, deny involvement, or express grief? Instead, he stayed silent, which, in a way, makes him look both guilty and innocent at the same time. Online, people are completely split. Some say it's too obvious that he did it, that only David would write songs about murder, obsess over Celeste, and then have her turn up dead in his trunk. Others argue it's so obvious that it doesn't make sense. If he really wanted to get away with it, why would he make himself look like the killer in advance through his music and then leave the body in his own car? That's why the theory of framing, or at least an accidental overdose covered up by someone else, keeps gaining traction.
To spend the rest of his life in a prison.
Maybe he did do it and wants to be caught. Again, we don't know.
I just said, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he did or didn't do it. All I'm saying is, we're all coming up with theories.
Yeah.
And yeah, one is he did, but there's another that he didn't. Boy, you want to frame somebody? Boom.
Put it in the car.
Boom.
And also, the car was moved as well, right? Am I getting that right?
Well, we don't know where it was between August 5th and around August 26th, because August 26th is when they found it when they ticketed it on the street. Again, It may have been there days before, but I know that street because I lived on that street, and they have street cleaning once a week, and they ticket you if you keep your car there.
But even if David didn't murder Celeste, that doesn't make him innocent overall. He was still in a relationship with an underage girl. TMZ even confirmed that people in the LA music scene thought they were dating, and his friends believed she was around 19. Whether she lied about her age or not, the fact remains, he was involved with her. So even if he didn't kill her, the controversy will haunt him forever. His reputation is already destroyed. His songs like Romantic Homicide now sound like confessions, even if they were written years before. His fans are questioning everything, and his critics believe this is the end of his career either way. Here's the truth. At this point, no one knows. The evidence against him is strong in appearance, but weak in fact. The timeline doesn't fully add up. The cause of death is undetermined, and the possibility of someone else moving his car or framing him is still very real. The only thing that could change everything now is the toxicology report, surveillance footage, or some kind of DNA match. Until then, the question remains open. Is David a murderer hiding in plain sight, or is he just the perfect scapegoat in one of the most disturbing music scandals we've ever seen?